It's our second episode.
We're back.
This episode is going to be twice as good as the last. And I know this because we've already tasted these
Cracker.
What are they called? Sweet olive oil tortas. And they're so freaking delicious.
They are.
I'm going to put some cheese on it.
They're like dessert, honestly.
Yeah, I'm stoked. So
it's a dessert.
We all have cheese knives.
Again.
In case you don't know, now you know. This is so bright. This light is so bright. This is Cheese is Worth Trying. This is the second episode of an epic, groundbreaking podcast about cheese.
There'll be many more.
There will be more. We have some cheeses that we're really excited about, and we also have some cheeses that we can't open. So
yes, we are.
Yeah.
I've been trying to open this cheese for the past 15 minutes.
That's okay. I've been trying to release the first podcast for weeks now, and I have to learn Adobe Premiere Pro. So I've been learning Adobe Premiere Pro. I'm going to turn this light down because I feel like I can't look.
No.
We should just start again.
No, we don't even have to. That's the beauty of authenticity. We're a little hangry. We're a little delirious from food. We have serious questions. To be honest, we bought some of this cheese a little while ago.
Yeah, we have a slight confession to make. One of these cheeses, we're not sure if it's an outer layer of the cheese or it's just completely covered in mold. It looks...
2 weeks
It could go either way. So we might get food poisoning.
And if we're being honest,
we might get food
the
poisoning.
salami is expired too. But I mean, it's cured meat, right? And it looks fine. It tastes fine. I don't think there's anything... I think we're okay.
So
we're not going to have a...
It was used in the ER room. This is why.
Because we ate moldy cheese.
You didn't go in the ER?
We ate moldy cheese and expired cured meats.
Cheese is really just
Cheese.
expired milk.
Oh.
But this does look like there's a moldy film to it, doesn't it?
Expired.
All right, so maybe we should start with this cheese. I'll also note that this cheese is smelly.
It is from 1916, yes. The whole premise of this cheese is that it was made in a cave in Vermont in 1916.
No, it's not 1916. The company is called 1916.
Well, that makes it less...
Yeah, it wasn't made in 1916.
That makes it less...
What is it called? Well, let's stop calling it it, and let's...
1916 cave.
Where's the topper?
1916.
Because you guys were also assigned with the prestigious task of researching some of these cheeses.
Yes, I have. For the 1916 cheese, we just have old, because I thought it was actually from 1916, and cave, because it said something about being made in a cave.
It says Wegman's Cave-Ripened 1916, origin U.S., Vermont, New York.
Yes.
Now, my instinct tells me that 1916 may be the branding of the cheese and not when it was made.
Yeah.
So, trusty research assistant Jack Long, is it possible that you could look up 1916 cheese and see if there's a brand here or what?
1916 cheese company.
If there's not, we're in trouble.
There. Oh, it was named for the year that Wegmans was incorporated.
Ooh, okay.
It's not when it came out.
Yeah, I mean, Wegmans,
Look,
obviously the Wegman family is not sitting in their basement cave-ripening cheeses. So somebody's making these cheeses, but if you go to Wegmans or if you live in a place that has Wegmans, right, we're in the Syracuse area, and
so we have Wegmans.
there are lots of Wegmans around here.
Too many Wegmans.
There's not too many Wegmans.
There are
you're sitting here at a table full of cheese from Wegmans. You gonna complain about it?
No.
All right. So.
We're not complaining.
Okay. But they obviously have companies that make these cheeses for them, and if you go to a Wegmans, the cheese selection is pretty outrageous.
Oh yeah, it's crazy there.
And actually, we did a video of getting the cheeses, right?
Yeah, it'll be at the start. You'll see, probably.
Is that going to be that's a good idea. We'll put it at the start. I actually thought that would be a cool promotional video, to put on Instagram.
We could do that.
But that doesn't mean we can't do both.
Yeah.
So that's a good idea.
Anyway, let's start eating cheese.
So we're gonna talk. Can you talk a little more about this cheese though? What is it supposed to taste like?
I don't know. It just looked cool. 1916 cheese. Sounds cool.
We're really providing a valuable service.
We got World War I cheese
We
right
have
here.
literally no idea what this cheese is. It's not World War I cheese.
Okay, so I'm cutting into it, and the first thing I'll notice is that this is a very soft cheese.
Also, it does not look like it's moldy.
No, it looks like
it's
it's
just
got
a film.
it has a
we're not
rind.
gonna get food poisoning.
right. Like
so.
the cheese has a rind, and I know a lot of people, like especially if you're familiar with brie, people have different feelings about it. There's some people who don't like to eat the rind at all. There's some people who will eat the rind by itself, even right. They really enjoy it.
I'm an avid rind enjoyer.
I'm kind of.
Unless it's wax.
So wait, do
because
you
that's
eat
wax.
you'll eat just the rind? Like
No,
if
not
there's
just the rind.
If there's just a piece of rind, do you eat that?
Yeah, but I'm not like taking the rind off of the cheese.
You're not removing the gooey goodness from the rind.
No,
Eat
of
the
course.
rind, right? Yeah, that
No,
would
the gooey goodness is what I
You do that.
The rinds, normally I just like, I'm hungry, so I'm just like, why waste it?
yeah, why forego the rind?
I will not
We got
besmirch the rind.
We got tiny breads too.
Yeah, so we thought like, I mean, we're not really here to review crackers and stuff, but if we're gonna have cheese and crackers,
We might as well.
well, I just think we might as well have good crackers, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. You want salt? Salt.
Those are the best crackers.
I'm a huge fan
There's
of
no doubt.
Triscuits. Oh yeah, so we got these things. I mean, I kind of said it in the beginning, but these were also from Wegmans. Innis Rosalis, the original sweet olive oil tortas. And what I didn't realize, and I should have when I said sweet on them, they're kind of actually like a dessert.
They have
They
sugar on
almost
them.
remind me of, so we're from New Jersey originally, and if you go down the shore, let's go Devils, that's right. If you go down the shore in Jersey, you can get what's called an elephant ear, and it's a lot like this. It's like a thin, crusty,
Elephant ears
sweet
are at the New York
pastry.
State Fair too.
Elephant ears.
Oh, really?
They're like top tier.
Is it the circular elephant ears, or is it the big, flaky ones?
I don't know, I've never had it.
There's two kinds of elephant ears. One is like, cutting it down the shore, they're big. They're like,
Oh.
they're big, and they're also in a wax container like this.
That could be a thing.
It tastes very similar to this, and it's essentially a fried bread. It's a fried flat bread with sugar on it. And then there's the elephant ears that you get in most bakeries across the country, which is it's got a little spiral thing, and they're good too. But the elephant ears that I was raised on, when I was
They're better.
even younger than you guys, we would go down the shore sometimes, and my grandpa would come home with this huge flaky elephant ear thing, and he would share it. He was a good sharer. So.
Alright.
Let's
Let's get down to cheese.
Let's get down to some cheese. So, point being, this 1916 cheese, it is very, very gooey. It's very, very soft. We
It's
did kind of
like-
we let most of these cheeses
3 times a million soft cheese.
right, but again, like kind of similar to the one that we tasted the last time. Like it's got
The
Like
it
fudges.
has a more pungent. It's not as intense as that, but it definitely has like a more pungent flavor for sure. So I'm gonna give this to you guys. We might have let it sit for a little too long in the run up to recording our second episode, and so maybe it went bad. But my suspicion is that it will be just fine.
Maybe it went good.
Yeah.
We left it in there so long it got better.
Oh, wow.
No.
Yeah. It's really good actually. It tastes like
It's like brie.
milk.
It does. I mean,
Like just general milk that's hardened but cheese.
I do think there is like a little bit of a.
Not new cheese.
I don't know how to describe it. It's like, and again, I don't know if it's because it was in the fridge for a few weeks, or I mean that shouldn't make that much of a difference. But the reason why I bring it up is because there was a time I love brie and I love like creamy cheeses.
Creamy cheeses are the best cheese.
And we do have another
Creamy.
is a Creme de Bourgogne.
And then we have an extra creamy. This is like 3 times creamy. This is like 5 times creamy.
So we used to get brie all the time. And there was a while, I don't know what was going on, but for a while, every time I bought brie, it was like it had gone bad already. And have you ever had brie that has gone bad?
No.
It has like a very sharp, like ammonia kind of smell to it.
We were raised too well to have been given bad brie.
Yeah, you're not from the slums where you have to get your brie wherever you can find it.
Well, anyway,
Oh well.
just give us a minute to enjoy this cheese.
It's good.
Good.
Right, too.
Shout out to Wegmans. We always get a lot of cheese from Wegmans and a lot of stuff from Wegmans. Good job, Wegmans.
Yeah, I mean, Wegmans, it's easy to talk trash about Wegmans, but
You can't talk trash about Wegmans cheeses though.
well, not only can you not talk trash about their cheese, but I mean, it's sort of common knowledge around here that the quality of the produce at Wegmans is a lot better than. in
Although it is a
other
lot more
places.
expensive.
It is.
It is.
It's a price I'm willing to pay for quality.
So, yeah, I mean, it's weird. The 1916 cheese to me is hard to describe, and if I'm being honest, as I said, I can't totally tell if it's because of how long we had stored it or if it was intended to be this way. It's good.
It's good.
It's a good cheese, but there is something about it that kind of.
I have that slight taste like you should eat.
It's almost like
3 days before.
I feel kind of wrong saying this, but it's almost like yogurt.
Yogurt?
Like the texture of it in general. Like
Well, yeah, it's
the
very
general
soft.
texture of it is yogurt,
It's very soft.
but
It's very
cheese,
creamy.
but better.
So, what would you like? What do you think the ideal thing to put with this would be? Like, if you were
Honestly,
gonna
these
make
crackers.
if you were gonna make a
Like this would be a
like an
good
hors d'oeuvre plate based on this cheese, what would you put with it?
crackers. Honestly, this would be a good spread because of how like creamy and spreadable it is.
Yeah, I mean,
Like you just put it on crackers and that would be good.
you can take a Triscuit and basically cut it with the Triscuit
That's how soft it is.
and scoop, and yeah, it's extremely soft, extremely spreadable.
I love this cheese.
Extremely good.
I think we should
It
start.
has the consistency almost of like a warmed brie, like if you warmed the brie in the oven.
And then let it sit.
Yeah.
You warmed it and then just left it
Old
be.
warm cheese.
Alright. I think we should do this thing where we rate the cheese. Like,
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
like not like, oh, this cheese is terrible, don't buy it. It's like our opinion because it's our podcast.
Sounds good. Do it.
Obviously, since we just
Number
started,
5 out of 10.
this cheese is the number one.
9.5 out of 10.
We're not gonna rate it out of 10. We're just gonna rate it.
Well, why don't you write down what everyone's rating was,
Alright, just let me get it.
and maybe we should have ratings for different categories, and just sort of like some basic comments, right? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Maybe like
It's really good.
We
like
have
texture, flavor.
texture, flavor, overall.
Sure.
Alright, so
To get that like intangible.
Overall would be texture plus flavor divided by 2.
Very.
mathematical, yeah.
I like
Okay.
your style, dude. I'm actually gonna get some water. Do you guys want some water?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna get some cups of water. I brought a bottle of sparkling wine last time, but this time we're just going. Oh, that's okay.
Good coffee, that's fine.
Patrick.
Right, Pete. Peace.
Okay. Texture. Out of 10. Flavor or
Out of 10.
texture, and then flavor out of 10. 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 Two. Out of 10. Out of 10. Out of 10. Alright. We have cheese ratings
You're gonna like
for each of the
Papa.
different. For just this cheese for now, I should probably keep writing.
good. It's very good cheese.
It is a very good cheese, actually. It's a great cheese.
Here are your waters, sirs.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, so what are the ratings so far? Where are we up to?
We're at 0, 0, 0.
All right.
Still unrated. Yeah.
I'll ask you, Patrick, first. What did you think of the texture of this cheese?
Good.
Out of 10.
8.
8 out of 10. What did you think on the flavor of the cheese?
9.5. 9.5.
9.5. And that adds up to 17.5 divided by 2 is 8.75.
It's good cheese.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is a good cheese. All right, what did you think of it?
I love the texture. Honestly, it's so soft and like, and I'm always like breaking crackers trying to spread the cheese on the cracker. So I would give the texture a 9.
I just discovered
9.
something.
What's that?
Triscuits are hollow.
Flavor-wise, I thought the flavor was good. It's very rich. It's very creamy. There is something about it, and again, I don't know if it's because of the way we stored it or what, but there is something about the cheese that
Off.
it's not off. It's a great cheese. Look, I'm still eating it. I'm eating more and more.
He's
So
just
it can't be that bad, right?
calls it
But,
trash, keeps eating it.
but like, I don't know. It's
Different.
there is a uniqueness to it because you can't. Is this a mild cheese or is this a stinky cheese? You can't decide. It's like it has that like smell of a pungent cheese, but with the volume turned way down. And it's good. I would give the flavor an 8. So that's an 8.5.
All right, and for me personally, I thought the texture was great. I like the texture, but the yogurtness of it. Now that I think of that, I have that in my head now, and it makes my head hurt.
Yogurty.
Yogurt cheese, I don't like it.
Yogurt cheese does not sound good.
I'm sorry if you like yogurt cheese, but I don't like yogurt cheese, so I'm gonna give it a 9 just because I now think of yogurt cheese. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Okay.
But for the flavor was great. The flavor was 100%. I'm gonna give that a 10.
Got high.
So let's go to the next cheese then.
Yes. Next cheese. What do you guys want?
Okay.
Well, we got this right here,
Yeah.
and I think because we just had a cream style soft cheese. This is another cream style soft cheese.
That one is
It looks
like
nice, too.
that one is like I'm pretty sure it's made to be creamy. So that one might be even creamier than that one.
I'm
Go up the levels of creamy.
I think there's a very good chance that we open this and it's just gonna ooze
Oh yeah,
life into our veins.
should I get like a napkin or something so we don't get all the sugar?
Extremely responsible of you. That would be great.
All right. I haven't eaten napkin anyway.
But we're gonna cut the cheese.
All
While
right.
you go do that.
Don't eat the cheese yet. See you.
No, but I'm gonna cut into it.
It's gonna be like one of those cakes with the middle fill full of sprinkles. It's gonna spill out.
Yeah. Again, a very soft cheese.
Bit harder though. Just a bit. Probably the rind.
Well, the rind is thicker. The rind is definitely more similar to a brie rind, but this is really soft.
Yeah.
And it looks really, really rich.
Totally.
Why don't you put that, like, not right in our way, though?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not sponsored.
Okay. This is a pretty significant.
Luckily, it did not ooze out on us.
It's soft, though. It's
That cheese looks even creamier, honestly. My
Yeah, it's
hypothesis.
awesome.
My
It's awesome.
hypothesis.
It
was
doesn't
correct.
ooze the same way that the 1916 one does. This was also a Wegman's brand, though, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
Creme
I think
Creme de Bourgogne.
yeah.
We
I think
got these from.
Got a nice piece of rind there for you.
I think the reason the rind is the reason that it doesn't use everywhere because like the cheese is like part of the rind, and the rind is much harder on this one than that one. That one had like a much lighter rind with like lighter flavored textures.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I mean, this one, with the Creme de Bourgogne, it's like the rind is thicker, but it's still very soft, and you can feel that it can barely hold its own weight up.
Hmm.
The 1916, as soon as you open it, it oozes out. This one doesn't quite like drip, but it's close. They both look very creamy.
This one, the texture
Kind of tastes like
is not as creamier, and luckily this one does not remind me of yogurt.
Kind
But-
of like goat cheese.
But the flavor is much creamier. Like that tastes like creamy. This is like creamy million.
Yeah, this to me tastes like amplified brie. It's like
Brie
everything you like about brie
times 5.
times 5.
I think it kind of has a
They're
goat
doing
cheese
big maths
taste too.
right now.
To me, it's a very mild flavor. I mean, you definitely get the flavor of the rind. It's very similar to a brie, but it's creamier, it's softer.
I like that cheese. I like that cheese a lot.
It's honestly like a little bit unwieldy though, because of the shape. Like it's very tall, and you cut into it with a cheese knife. It doesn't quite cut, so you're kind of just like I feel like I'm just mangling this thing.
That would take some texture points off there. Although, it did look really good before we cut it. Like it looked like a piece of art.
You know,
Who ruined it?
Like some random kid made this beautiful cheese sculpture.
I think, if you like a regular brie, I mean, there's really two ways to eat a regular paper towel. There's really two ways to eat a regular brie, right? You can have it chilled or room temperature where it's stable, or you can put it in the oven and melt it. And if anyone who's done that before, you can use your own cheese knife.
Yeah, I was giving it to you.
Oh, thank you.
Stole it.
Anyone who's put brie in the oven before knows if you put it in for too long, it just completely liquefies. It just becomes like,
Gone.
it expands, and then when you cut it, it's like overly cooked, and sometimes the oil from the cheese separates. Like a nice warm brie that's like kind of gooey is good, but an
Is that one
overcooked
that Aunt
one.
Robin made that one time?
Yes,
Oh.
that's right. It's a shout out to Aunt Robin, one of our cheese suppliers,
That might have even been the original cheese we're trying.
because she lives not far from Grafton, Vermont. And we make a lot of cheese there. So,
There's a lot
In fact,
of cheese.
is one of the cheeses that we have here from Grafton? I think there's a cheddar that we have in the fridge that at some point
There's a cheddar.
we're going to put on the podcast, but that
This is
cheddar
Wisconsin.
is good until June, so I thought,
Cheddar
No
cheese
rush.
until June?
well, the cheddars last longer. I mean, this cheese isn't meant to sit. I don't think this cheese was meant to sit in your fridge until June. I don't think this cheese is going to be any good in June. So, the harder cheeses are going to tend to last longer, as long as they've not been opened. Right?
Yeah, because creamier cheese is like,
It's closer to
Milk.
milk. Yeah, it's closer to milk.
and milk is milk.
Doesn't do
You-
both.
you
Wouldn't it
know-
be
you
cool
know
to get
some-
someone who makes cheese to come on the podcast and like tell us? Because we're just kind of just dumbasses like sitting here talking about cheese that we don't know about. But like,
We're just idiots talking about random cheeses that some random guy's like, hey,
Mom,
why are you making my cheese look stupid?
right? I mean, like the people who made these cheeses are handing down centuries of knowledge, and we're like,
This is stupid.
oh no, it's drippy. This is good. Like, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea what goes into making these cheeses, but look, I mean, we're tasting cheeses because we love the cheeses, and I think for the most part, we've enjoyed all the cheeses that we've tried. Even the one that was, what was it called?
foot cheese.
It wasn't called foot cheese.
It was
Something. Watch the.
Was it a bomb?
Watch the previous episode to find out.
Yeah, watch the previous episode, exactly.
And
And
tell
in
us.
fairness, at Murray's, when we asked about the cheeses, I mean, she warned us that it was going to be intense. It's not as though,
We got what we asked for.
yeah, they made the cheese that they wanted to make, and our dumbasses acted surprised when we bought it from them.
We were
so,
like, the lady was like, this cheese
Is a world.
is a lot of attacking stuff. And then we were like, oh, okay.
And your
And then,
prejudice.
and then we take it home and we're like, whoa, this cheese is a lot of attacking stuff.
whatever. I feel attacked.
I feel assaulted by this cheese.
This cheese is triggering me.
Sick fight.
Are you okay? We're going to watch Patrick choke to death on podcast.
Eating cheese.
At least it's in recording. Like, we'll be like, remember Patrick? Yeah, he was cool. Whatever happened to him? Oh, you didn't see the second episode of Cheese is Worth Trying? He dies.
Yeah, I only watched.
Damn it! You spoiled it for me. I've only seen the first episode.
I only watched 2 episodes.
He got killed off because he didn't want to do acting anymore.
Yeah. We haven't tried any of the cheeses with our sugar cake.
I have this idea for the sugar cake where we should save them for after and then put like all of the cheeses on the one and try them all at the same time.
Since these are so sweet, why don't we wait until the end? And it'll
That's
be
what
kind
I'm
of free for all, whatever you want to do with it.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll probably try some cheese on it, but like, in my opinion, cheese and sugar don't typically go together.
No.
Although, cheese and jam go together, and there's sugar and jam. So.
Although jam is like fruit.
Yeah, but it's fruit and sugar.
And the sugar and fruit.
I mean, if you look at the ingredients of fruit is sweet too. If you look at the ingredients of like jam or preserve or whatever, I mean, even pectin is just fruit that's cooked down so much that there's the sugar concentrates in there. I could honestly just sit around and eat Triscuits all day. If there was a job that involved that, I would be the best at it.
I like these bread.
Easy. Triscuit
Things.
tastes good.
Yes, I want to be. Who makes Triscuits?
Triscuits.
Triscuits like chicken.
You guys, you're so innocent and naive. Of course, Triscuits don't make Triscuits. They're made by Mondelez Global in, guess where? You know where Mondelez Global is? I knew this, but you didn't know this. East Hanover, New Jersey, which is very close to where you were born.
That's probably why you know that.
Hopefully
Anyway,
you were both born
let's
in the
move
same
on to
place.
the next cheese. Oh, mixed cheese.
Not the same room, but like same building.
Same room, same
Extra
door, same house.
creamy gorgonzola. We tried this cheese before, and we lost the top. We put another top on, so it's fine, but still.
You also top?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a different top that you put.
Yeah, we opened it the other day and tried it. It was delicious though. It was great.
Yeah,
So,
So the whole creme
happy to try
did we
cheese.
sufficiently talk about the creme de bourgogne? Because
Yes.
I feel like,
Oh,
did
we need to rate it
We
though.
didn't rate
We
it.
didn't. Yeah, we didn't rate it. This is true. This is true.
Gotta watch these guys every second.
Okay.
This is actually a freaking great cheese.
It is an amazing cheese.
I do think though it's so mild
It
that
feels kind of
it could use something with it, which is not the cheese's fault. But
It's our fault for not getting more stuff.
I think it would be great to have like blueberry jam or strawberry jam to go with it, or something that I've like when I was trying to say about the brie before is that sometimes people like warm brie because they like how soft the brie is, but they're afraid to do it because they overcook it.
Yeah.
If you were to get something like this,
Wings.
you wouldn't have to cook it, and it would still be gooey the way that warm brie is. So you could let this get to room temperature and not be afraid of overcooking it.
Yeah. All right.
However, I wouldn't recommend putting this in the oven. I wouldn't recommend putting the 1916 in the oven either. And for that matter, I don't think I'd recommend putting the gorgonzola in the oven.
Don't put any in them. Just don't. This one's creamy too, and this one's cheddar cheese. I don't know. I don't know what to say about cheddar cheese, but don't put
Is
it
it
in.
like influenced with tequila or something?
Oh yeah,
That's
the funny thing about this cheese is it's infused with tequila, so we should make you try it first.
People who are listening to this are going to be so confused because you keep saying this cheese and you're talking about 3 or 4 different cheeses.
The
You gotta
specialty
be clear.
cheddar cheese, which
But
is
we're
great.
not onto that one yet, right?
Yeah, we're talking about the specialty cheddar cheese later.
I think you gotta reveal those cheeses when it's their time.
Yes.
Right now,
Okay.
it's the gorgonzola's time to shine.
Before we do the gorgonzola, rating,
Oh, right, that's right.
texture.
For me,
Yes.
9. It's great.
No texture?
Kind of falls.
Oh, man.
9. Not German for no. English for the number 9.
What did you think of the texture?
7.5.
Stop doing 0.5. I don't want to do the decimal math. We're having a podcast.
You don't have
We can't
to.
keep them moving.
Use your calculator.
Just give me a normal
Yeah,
number.
just give a
7.
number.
Thank you. For me, I'd probably also give it a 9 because I cut that cheese to see for myself what Papa was talking about with the cheese being like incredibly difficult to cut, and like the texture of the actual cheese is great, but cutting it is a nightmare. So I'm gonna give it a 9. Just like,
That's why I made it a 7.
and then the for the flavor, what did you think?
9. I thought it was great. I mean, it's mild. It has a little bit of a slight acidic bite at the end.
Yeah.
But
I thought it tasted honestly a lot like the other cheese that I got. That also
1916.
no, that was the one I got. I'm talking about like the one in the first episode that I got from Murder's Cheese. I don't remember what it is, but it just reminds me of that.
Oh yeah.
I did
Unnamed cheese.
I specifically sought out a creamy cheese though. For both times I sought out a creamy cheese, and I got a creamy cheese. Maybe it's just that they're both creamy. Anyway, what did you think of it, Patty? Flavor.
8.
8 out of 10. I thought the flavor was great. I don't have any quarrel with the flavor. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a
It's
10.
kind of intense like that foot cheese, but
Stop saying
it's the foot cheese.
Yeah, but what if there's the what
Yeah,
if the
no,
cheesemaker
I think you
who
should
made
respect
this
the cheese that you selected and
It's a good cheese, but it's intense.
What if the person who made this cheese is watching this right now and they're like, why are they calling my poor cheese foot cheese? Like that is so disrespectful.
Okay, I'm sorry whoever made that cheese.
yeah, I mean they told you what it was going to taste like and you chose it. So I don't think you get to disrespect the cheese.
Who asked me something?
Let's taste the gorgonzola.
Alright. I'll add a few totals later. Gorgonzola. Oh yeah, also, the thing about the gorgonzola is, as well as it being gorgonzola, it's blue cheese
There's blue cheese.
and creamy.
Isn't blue cheese like
Its main attractions are blue cheese and creamier than most, I guess.
I'm excited for that blue jay.
Gorgonzola, don't they use gorgonzola to cook with?
I'll eat anything with cheese.
Well, you have a phone with you right now, and you're supposed to research this stuff ahead of time. That's what I thought you were doing this whole time.
You're researching
What it tastes like
food.
and stuff.
Chefs use gorgonzola.
Maybe look up like what are good uses for gorgonzola.
Good uses for gorgonzola. That's me using Siri, not just me repeating it to myself. What is gorgonzola cheese good with?
See, again, I think this one is not bad.
Oh yeah,
Probably.
it has like a. Oh yeah, it's mainly for sauce and pasta, but yeah, you can make stuff with cheese.
I mean, yeah, it's because I actually had some of this for the
Enchiladas.
Super Bowl, which was last weekend,
Yeah,
and it was delicious. And today it tastes
Different.
different, it's a little off.
it must have something to do with the top. Anyway, you can make enchiladas, chicken pesto pizza,
Enchiladas,
chicken
that
a
is
lime
awesome.
gorgonzola chicken melt,
Yeah, honestly,
a
I'm gonna
weenie gorgonzola cream sauce.
tell you what, I'm gonna pass on really reviewing this one.
Yeah,
It's
just
not
because since it.
I don't think we're really giving it a fair shot here.
It was really good.
It was really good.
It was good on last Sunday. We had a nice family day on the Super Bowl, and
It was good.
watched some football and made all sorts of snacks and had a couple of friends over. And yeah, we had some gorgonzola and it was good then, but today it tastes a little funky, so.
That was like
Gorgonzola, you are good. Whoever made this extra creamy gorgonzola from, I'm pretty sure, Wegmans, you did good. We are just idiots that decided to eat the cheese a week in advance.
I think, yeah. I think what we should do next time, if we're gonna go to Wegman to get the cheese,
Have self-discipline.
no, maybe we should just get it the same day that we plan to do the episode.
Yeah, that works too,
Yeah.
because we like,
then we'll go back.
we have so many going
Because
on.
it's a shame, because like the soft cheeses here have been delicious, but I can't help but feeling like they might have tasted a little bit different 3 weeks ago when we got them. Maybe I'm wrong. Look, I might be
Now that
totally
you say
wrong.
that, it's hilarious.
Right.
I wish we ate the cheese 3 weeks ago when we got it. These are freaking month-old.
Well, because they're very fresh, like milky, creamy cheeses. You know?
I need some more of that creamy boy. Anyway,
Move on.
which one do you guys want next?
Blue
The
Jay.
tequila or the Blue Jay?
Blue Jay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm done with this one. Okay.
My poor table
It's
has
got this
cream cheese all over it.
It's got this fancy, like, almost red velvet looking wrapping, but it's not like the texture of red velvet, like the color of red velvet. But, yeah.
What would we call this episode?
What's the name of the episodes?
You don't have to, but
Idiot,
I did name the first episode Triple Cream Dream.
Idiots eating fruity cold cheese.
Idiots on cheese. Hopped up on cheese.
Hopped up on cheese. That's actually a good name.
So actually, I think hopped up on cheese would be a good one if we were doing like a beer cheese.
This one has tequila in it.
And there are beer-based cheeses.
Yeah, look, this cheese looks
And
like...
beer pairings with cheese.
This looks hardcore. This is an extra hardcore.
Why
cheese.
don't you describe for the listeners and show the listeners, like, what are we looking at here?
It looks like, it's like got the white or whitish cheese like normalcy, but it has berries.
Can I see it?
Like juniper berries, I'm pretty sure it said, and blue cheese inside of it.
Oh, right. So this is the
It says on the
Blue
top.
Jay. Enjoy this herbaceous blue cheese with gin martinis. I wish I had a gin martini.
Oh, same.
Honey green tea, grilled steak, figs, and pears.
Yes.
And this
interesting assortment of items.
expires on April 6th, so we know that it is still good.
Yes. I have the description here. It says Wisconsin quintuple cream, blue cheese infused with juniper berry.
And this is what it looks like.
For listeners, I'm sorry, we can't really.
Well, it's a wedge-shaped cheese that's
And also,
relatively soft, but certainly not as soft as the cream style cheeses that we were just having. It's certainly not as soft as a brie,
yes.
but it's quite spreadable for a blue cheese actually.
Also, if you look up Deer Creek the Blue Jay, I did that just before we started. It'll give you the exact cheese, and you can either buy it on there or just look at it what it looks like.
Oh yeah, shout out to Deer Creek.
Oh yeah, Deer Creek. I learned a good thing. It says 1% for the planet. I don't know exactly what that means, but I'm pretty sure that means 1% of the profits go to like saving the planet and stuff. So buy from them because they're gonna save the planet.
And also just cheese.
Also cheese.
Oh, cool! Yeah, there's like little bits of blueberries or is it blueberries?
No, it's juniper berries.
Juniper. Oh, that's why they say have it with a gin martini, because gin is made with juniper.
Whoa. That's good. I just like your fog humble
No.
thing. Remember that cheese bottle we got?
Mm-hmm.
I found the Humble's fog in there.
Really?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It tastes like a force.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with this cheese, to be honest.
This is like
The
What is it called again? Blue Jay?
Blue Jay. Blue Jay. It must be derived from juniper berries and blue cheese.
Alright,
It's
so
like birdie berries or something.
we're not calling it the cheese, we're calling it the
Bird cheese.
no, not this.
Why don't we call the cheese what it's actually called? I mean, what is it that's in it now? Because look at this stuff.
It's got triple cream, blue cheese, and juniper berry.
Okay, because there's bits of bluish, grayish material.
That must be the blue cheese.
Yeah.
It kind of tastes like the
That's what some of that good
bomb
cheese.
cheese, we're gonna call it instead, than foot.
Yeah, I don't remember what the other one was called, but yeah, it was some sort of bomb, I thought is what it was called.
Yeah,
It
it
was
kind
not
of
a
tastes like
bomb.
that, but a bit better.
Or maybe they just described it as a flavor bomb. But
Yes, they described it as a flavor bomb because I don't remember any bomb being in our
Like a
cheese.
review crap. Really good. Has that like sharp taste of blue cheese.
Mhm.
Kind of like held a bit.
Yeah. I'm trying to taste the juniper. Oh, okay. I just got a little bit of the juniper. So when you take a bite of it, it tastes a lot like
Oh, I got it too.
I think a pretty strong spreadable blue cheese. It's creamy, but it's clearly blue cheese. And then at the end you bite into it, you taste the blue cheese, and then as you start to breathe, you're gonna smell the juniper.
I don't know what juniper smells like, but it tastes
Yeah.
Amazing.
Honestly, the only description I have is it tastes like a forest with blue cheese.
blue cheese forest.
Blue cheese forest.
See what kind of forest it
This is a really interesting cheese. I can't say
It
that
is.
I love it.
I do.
I can't say that I hate it though.
No, I definitely don't hate it, and I certainly wouldn't be upset for like this. To me, would be a cheese. Remember we talked last time about the like making a cheese spread, and maybe you have different kinds of cheeses, and some cheeses are for like more adventurous eaters, and some cheeses are not.
Yeah.
This to me is a cheese for an adventurous eater.
Luckily for us, we are adventurous eaters.
You guys are adventurous eaters, and I'm really happy about that. I'm glad that
If I didn't
we
like
made sure that you guys were not picky eaters growing up.
just because there's some kids in my class that like their parents have to like change the whole Thanksgiving dinner just because they don't like salt.
Yeah, there are
Salt?
Pepper, seasonings.
Oh, seasoning.
Like one of my friends has like a phobia to seasonings.
Wait.
Well, I don't know what to say to that. Certainly not publicly. That's kind of bizarre to me, but I mean, the trick to making your kids not be picky eaters is really simple.
Just don't.
You make dinner, and if they don't eat it, then they're not hungry. Like, that's the end of it. I mean, obviously, people are going to have
allergens.
People are going to have food allergies that you have to respect. And everyone has a right to not like certain things, but usually when you have kids who are picky eaters, a lot of the time it's about control.
It's them just wanting something else, and then just eventually wanting something else so many
it
times.
typically starts when they're younger, and it starts as,
Some mac and cheese.
2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, they're fighting for control with their parents. They want autonomy, right? All children go through these life stages. Teenagers are fighting for their version of autonomy. 2 and 3-year-olds are fighting for their version of autonomy. And what they do is they start to have these, I don't want to eat food like this.
2 and 3-year-olds' autonomy is like monarchy, and teenagers' autonomy is like democracy, kind of.
I don't think so.
What?
Anyway.
Well, like 2 and 3-year-olds want things like perfectly adjusted to them, and like.
Well, toddlers are blunt instruments, right? They don't have a sophisticated approach to things. But what happens is when the parents acquiesce to that pickiness, then what the toddler learns is the more difficult I am, the more attention and reward I will receive.
Which is not the lesson you want. I think
No.
that what Jack said is not true. I think that toddlers want to be the center of attention and like have their parents be on them at all moments, and teenagers want the opposite of that.
I think that is extremely observant.
So you like
You're absolutely right, Patrick.
build up that for like all the way to the teens,
Right.
and then it kind of just goes straight downhill.
Well, the toddlers are struggling with some independence though because they're learning to walk.
Learning
Right?
to walk was hard, I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I was thinking
It
it
is.
like
But you know what's interesting about learning to walk is there are no human babies that try to walk, fall down, and are like, I'm not doing that ever again.
it's because they're not completely developed yet. They're like, I'm gonna do that again.
No, but I think it's interesting that people, as they grow older, try new things, and if the new thing doesn't work out, they say, I'll never do that again. But babies don't do that, actually.
Babies have discipline.
Yeah, well, you kind of have to admire their persistence, right? Well, I bet you learning to walk really is hard, but they do it anyway.
I had to learn how to run, which is probably even harder.
Maybe it's like in our
And
DNA.
then parents
like,
learn how to not be annoyed.
Maybe
Which is
it's not
probably
even
even harder.
Maybe walking persistence is like in our DNA where we like our brain makes ourselves keep walking until we walk. And if we stop, the brain is just like, well, now what?
Well, I don't know about that, but I think that, can I blow a napkin?
Okay.
I mean, your body is designed to walk upright, so it's kind of like, what's your alternative? You can just crawl for the rest of your life, I guess? I don't know.
I'll just go and drink my brew.
So, not only are we teaching about cheese, but we are
We're teaching parent lessons.
teaching parenting from the three of us.
And human anatomy.
We're scientists. So
All right, so
Cheese scientist. That one.
what is our rating of the Bluebird?
10 and 10.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow, Patrick.
I would give it like in
That's
a
awesome. I'm glad that you're so stoked about it. Like, because it's a really interesting cheese. And as I was saying, I think like this would be a great cheese to put on your cheese plate if you have other less adventurous cheeses with it. And it's not a stinky cheese. It's actually a really good, and I think in a lot of ways like thoughtfully assembled cheese. But there is a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jack.
For me, I think that this cheese is almost like the perfect texture.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like you can slice it. It's like easy to slice, but
Without
it's not like
hard.
a collapsed building like the other one. Like look at it. It's a sad pile of
Yeah, it's
sand.
just a pile of rind and goo. It looks like
Obviously, we're not saying it's bad.
no, it's delicious, but the creme de Bourgogne doesn't hold its own weight, and it kind of tries to be tall.
Kind of like,
But yeah, for the texture at least, I'm going to give it a 10. It has a great texture.
Wow.
It holds its weight, but it's like easy to cut and yeah.
Okay.
For the flavor, I think I have to give it an 8 because it tastes good. It tastes great, but it's a lot. It's like somebody threw a Pokeball into your mouth and inside it was a forest. And then the forest just expands in your mouth.
The more times I tried it, the more it grew on me. The first tasting of it, I was a little bit like, whoa.
Well,
And then funny,
after
I
you
used
get
it-
used to it.
I used the creme de Bourgogne to like cleanse my palate because it was more mild.
Yeah, same here. So yeah, 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10, total is 9 out of 10. Patrick, what did you think?
10 and 10.
Yes.
Perfect
Okay.
cheese. A perfect cheese. I mean, look, cheese is not a zero-sum game, right? I mean,
Okay, losing cheese.
well, one person, just because this cheese is great doesn't mean, like we could get a bunch of cheeses where we rate all of them 10 out of 10s on everything. Like it's not as though there has to only be one. But you seem to love that cheese, huh?
The cheese
Really
ring
good.
of power.
And I can't stop eating
One
it.
cheese to
Okay.
one wall. Alright, so we have 10 out of 10, and that is 10 out of 10. Papa, what are your thoughts?
It's a really interesting cheese, and it's hard to just put a number on it. You know, it's definitely
It definitely is a cheese worth trying. I mean, if you like cheeses and you like trying different cheeses, I would definitely recommend seeking this out, giving it a shot.
Join me on the intense side of the force.
Jaybird, yeah. Bluebird.
No,
Bluebird.
Blue Jay.
Blue Jay. Deer Creek, right?
Yes, Deer Creek. Deer Creek is good.
Do you know where it was purchased?
No.
Okay.
We got it as a gift. We don't know where it is.
It was a gift to me, and I don't know where it was purchased.
Probably in Deer
What?
Creek.
Okay, so my rating would be, I mean, we could also rate these on appearance too, because, I mean, different cheeses have different looks to them.
Oh, but this was
We can do
That was another
appearance later. We're not going to put that in the official record because that's.
I would say texture-wise, I would give it probably an 9. I mean, I liked it. It doesn't crumble. It's spreadable.
Yeah.
But it's also soft and it holds its own shape.
What's the only issue?
There's no issue. It's a 9.
Take
I like
it.
What, if there's no issue, why isn't it a 10?
Take it or
Because I leave the 10 for a surprise.
Okay.
There's something about a surprise.
We only have one more cheese, so like.
This is how I want to choose to rate things. So
All right.
I mean-
I'll take your word for it.
I'm your dad. Do I ever give you a 10? No, no, I don't, do I? I give you a lot of 9s, though, don't I? I don't give out 10s very
The
often.
depression sets in.
So I'll see a therapist. All right.
For the flavor.
For the flavor, I think for the flavor, I would give it an 8, which is to say, it's good. It's
Yeah.
got a really good flavor. It's a little weird.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's what my
this
thoughts were.
cheese
It's
is
weird.
like the
It's a bit weird.
perfect description.
So you love this cheese.
I like this cheese, and I think it is the perfect description of me.
You relate this to the cheese on a personal level.
Yes, this is a very
You
personal.
and this cheese. Gotcha.
She really likes this cheese.
Not a problem. The question to you, Jack, is would you get this cheese again? If you were making a cheese plate, would you buy this cheese?
I'll buy it 10 times over.
I know you would.
I'm not sure, actually.
Yes.
No, it's his opinion. You have to tell him that.
Advertising.
I have no idea. It depends on my mood.
I would say it
or
depends on the company.
It depends on the company, and it depends on my mood, and it depends on what it's for. Like
This
if
to
we're
me is like if I was having. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. I apologize.
No, I
Go ahead.
didn't have any more to say.
Oh, okay. I would get this cheese for a cheese plate that was designed for like intellectuals and adventurous eaters.
Intellectual.
This would not be a Super Bowl cheese for me. This is not like a just rando,
Here, have
barbecue, like
No.
Although
random people.
It does go with steak though, which
You know,
is an
actually-
odd choice actually.
No, that's a really interesting point though, is that they recommend putting it on steaks, and we have steaks at home. So I think that it definitely calls for,
I need to save some extra.
oh, well, there's a bunch right here.
Don't need any more.
And we've had, I'm still leaving more. We've had plenty. We've got one more cheese to try. We're probably coming up close on to the hour mark, I would think, on our watch on today. But,
Yeah. And also, we need to eat those.
yes, we're gonna do that too.
This part.
All right, let's move on to the next cheese.
Yeah.
Then we got Deer Creek Part 2.
Here, you guys talk about something because this might take a while. I've been struggling to open this cheese for a very long time now.
Here's what we're gonna do. I'll go open that for you. Because I want more water, also I'm thirsty. And
Cheese is strange.
I have a question for you guys.
Shoot.
What are some new things in the world, in your lives, that you're excited about to tell other people, right? So I don't mean like you guys both got A's on your tests this week. That would be an example of something to be excited about. But what I mean is like
That would be brand new.
things out in the world that you're excited about right now. Go.
Something, it would probably be Lego. Lego making more environmentally friendly plastic. They're making their plastic more environmentally friendly. They're like making the bags paper, and eventually probably they said something about. I'm pretty sure that's why they came out with the botanical collection. Actually, with all of the like different plants, you've probably seen them in the store before. The reason they came out with that is to celebrate the fact that they're like being environmentally friendly and stuff, or at least trying to. And eventually, they're gonna stop being plastic. So good on them.
Well, what else would you make it out of?
Not plastic.
Wood? That's even worse.
Not wood.
Wood.
What minifigures would like snap and get set on fire?
No. Who's playing with fire? Who's like, oh, I'm gonna put my minifigure in a pit of flames?
Just that's what I said. Do with it what you feel.
Okay. Y'all know Universal Studios. Y'all know Universal Studios, right? You know what they released? Nintendo's not yet.
In California, they came out with the Japan one a long time ago.
We're talking about GoldenEye?
No. Something.
I'm excited about GoldenEye, although
Yeah.
the controller didn't really work the way I expected it to, so I hope
Well, that's because it's on the Switch, so like the
You could
controllers
get
are
a
different.
64 controller.
Yeah, we need to get you a Nintendo 64 controller. You can just order them off Nintendo.
I don't know if
Switch
you want to take that
online.
risk.
So, yeah, you get smoked. Mr. Deer Creek, we need to have a conversation about this wrapper for your specialty cheddar cheese infused with tequila and habanero peppers called the Rattlesnake. It looks like a delightful cheese. However, the wrapper is stronger than the cheese. And so to open this took a lot of
Yeah, like the cheese is in pieces right now.
It took a lot of yelling and crying and screaming and evaluating my worth as a human. And the cheese itself is a little soft, and it was kind of torn into a few pieces as I opened it. So
All in 20 seconds.
my first thing to review about this is Mr. Deer Creek, please
Or Mrs.
use Mr. or Mrs. You're absolutely right. Mr. or Ms. We don't say Mrs. anymore, we say Ms. now. Mr. or Ms. Deer Creek, please use a lighter, thinner wrapper. This thing, like, you
It's
could
bulletproof.
tow your car with this wrapper. Like, it's ridiculous. But anyway, I digress. Okay.
Let's try.
Looks like good cheese.
We're not
It
ready.
looks like great cheese, and I don't want the wrapper to sully the flavor of the cheese itself. So, with that said, I'm going to cut some strips here, and I'm just going to note, I don't know if you can see this on the camera.
It has a texture kind of like a cheese stick. Kind of.
Yeah, it does
Like
actually. It's
just-
like, this is a variety of cheddar, but it's a very soft cheddar. It's interesting. It's well, not that soft. I broke my disposable knife here.
You probably should have been using the cheese knife anyway, but still.
I'm surprised I didn't break the knife on the wrapper. All right, I have a cheese knife. This is why we have cheese knives.
Well,
Because it's not
It's
much.
supposed to be spicy, just so.
now you tell me.
It's got habanero.
Habanero is a hot pepper, so
Habanero is a hot pepper.
You said tequila.
And also, it looks like fire. The habanero or like something. There's something in it that makes it look orange. It makes it look like it's kind of on fire.
yeah, there's an orange hue to it. And the fact that it's called the rattlesnake tells me that you may get bit, I guess. Eating it, I don't
I'm
know.
gonna get bit by cheese.
You had no idea this was going to be dangerous, huh?
Everyone has to be wearing like leather vests now.
When the cheese bites you back.
Did you taste it? It's hot.
A snack that bites you back.
Oh
To
god.
be honest, I'm pretty impressed with your reaction to eating this cheese, Patrick.
Oh my god.
Patrick is almost 11, and he just ate a habanero pepper like a champ. So the next time you all sit there and say that something is too spicy, I want you to think about this 11-year-old.
Can I just go get some water real quick? Good night.
He was just complimenting Patrick on his ability to eat the habanero pepper, and then Patrick just runs off screaming for water. Great job. Good description.
All right.
But yeah, that's crazy. I can't eat that. I had like a tiny bite and I'm on fire right now.
It's not like that.
This is me wrapping up the Jaybird. So the Deer Creek specialty cheese. I mean,
It's spicy.
it is spicy.
It has habaneros though.
It has
like,
habanero
Like
in
the
it.
other one, we kind of got what we asked for.
You guys probably don't know what tequila tastes like.
If we did, I'd be concerned. You should be concerned if we did. I don't know what tequila tastes like.
To be honest, I don't taste any tequila in it. I don't know what.
It's probably just like a slight addition to the flavor because if you added tequila in it, then that means people would have to like have a alcohol license to buy it.
Well, it says infused with tequila. I don't know what that means.
It's got to do with like the just general like background taste.
Or maybe they just dipped it in.
I'm gonna try another taste of it.
Yeah, who knows? But the habaneros are hot.
Yeah.
Kind of like
It's a
obvious.
it's a soft cheddar though, and
I didn't even bite the habaneros, and I'm already getting. Yeah, I'm not a spicy person.
No.
you do pretty well with spicy food in general though.
No.
Well, it's okay to like spicy food and say this is too spicy.
Also, I haven't had a lot of spicy stuff in a while.
So I think this, at least for us, I think this begs the question: was this cheese worth trying?
This cheese was worth trying, but
I want to try it again.
You can't make me.
Unless I get health insurance now.
but yeah, that cheese is crazy over
Get
the top.
7-degree burns from this cheese.
Yeah.
That cheese was crazy over the top spicy.
I didn't find it to be crazy over the top spicy. I thought it was fine in the spiciness regard. Sorry, I was trying to clean up a little bit here.
Do you clean that clean?
Oh, you want to deal with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of, I would say it's that level of spicy where it's so spicy that you can't focus on anything but spicy. So I can't really get the cheddar flavor.
You know, I would agree with that. I would say it's not that it's too spicy to eat.
No.
It's that it's too spicy, I think, to really taste much cheese. This says that it won a gold medal at the LA International Dairy Competition.
Thing.
Why don't you look it up? Look up the LA International Dairy Competition.
LA International Dairy Competition.
Very good cheese. It's spicy.
LA International Dairy Competition? Come on, Siri, it's not that hard. LE? Okay.
Come on, Jack, it's not that hard.
LA International.
What's happening here? Patrick is dying again. And you spit the water out. That's disgusting.
Full of cheese, too.
It's better than the rug.
It's true. You're absolutely right.
I'm gonna send you a request.
Would you like some? Are you giving it another try?
Yeah.
Oh, he's reached his time limit. Yeah, that must be hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very hard. It's a hard knock one.
It is.
Anyway,
When I was
it
your age, I
exists.
had
Okay.
no limit on the amount of time that I could use a cell phone.
It didn't exist.
Yeah, I never saw a cell phone.
They're like, wow, what's that piece of machinery?
One of my uncles had a cell phone when I was a kid. But it was like a car phone. It was in his car. And I don't think I even saw it. I just remember that my grandparents talked about it. All right, so
I knew it does exist though, because
have
There
it
was
Schwarza.
there was an autofill for the LA International Dairy Competition. So it exists.
Okay.
I love the wrapping on this thing.
Me too, man. So right now we're having these sweet olive oil tortas.
I don't taste olive oil, I just taste sweet.
I think I'm just gonna eat the torta.
And I love the wrap. It's got like this waxy old school wrapper, which actually I'm using to wrap up some of the leftover cheese. And this thing is so freaking good. Like, I feel like we had all these cheeses and some of them were great and some of them weren't. But the sweet tortas are like stealing the show.
They just
Are you're gonna take, that's an interesting idea to spread some of that on there.
I'm gonna try and put some of the cheese on it.
Alright, I'm gonna have some
It'll be in
of the
the
rattlesnake.
Here, you can have
It's
some of
really
my
spicy.
extra rattlesnake because I didn't eat all of it.
I have a research assignment for you guys next time.
Alright.
I wanna know what makes a cheddar cheese a cheddar cheese. Like if we had a bunch of milk and we decided we were gonna make cheese, and we said, what kind of cheese do we wanna make? And we said, we're gonna make cheddar. What is it that makes it cheddar?
You should do an episode that's like just cheddar cheeses and just mozzarella cheeses for a different one.
Alright, so why don't we do for the next episode, we'll do just cheddar.
Just cheddar. And then we'll have all of like the cheddar making background knowledge too, which will be good.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm actually eating right now the super hot cheese with the sweet torta, and it's awesome. It's so good together.
Is it still like really hot?
Where has this thing been all my life?
I mean, it's spicy. But, see, like, I'm not really big on sweets. You guys know this about me, but I don't eat a lot of sweets.
When you do, they're really good ones.
Yeah, like, if I'm gonna have a dessert, I want it to be a great dessert. I want it to be something I'm, like, really excited about.
Like a freshly baked donut from Krispy Kreme.
Like a still warm donut from Krispy Kreme.
Actually,
Like a really good homemade pie. Like high quality ice cream.
the torta kind of like milds out the cheese.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why I like it with the habanero.
Yeah.
The sweetness makes everything more mild.
Yeah.
I just want to know like where this came from.
These things?
Yeah.
Well, tortas are, aren't they Mexican food? Or is it Spanish food?
Also, Spanish flag.
It sure does, doesn't it? Patrick has the unique ability of knowing more than you. And it's pretty surprising because he will just bust out random knowledge, which I enjoy because I'm proud of him when he does that.
Yeah.
Handmade in Spain since 1910. In 1910, Ines Rosales resurrected her family's cherished olive oil torta recipe and began selling them at the local train station to support her family. A huge success, they soon became a staple in households across Andalusia, which I suppose is in Spain. Over a century later, we stayed true to Ines's recipe, individually handmaking every torta and using only the best ingredients. And guys, you nailed it. These are so good. I had no idea, and I hope to eat many more of these for the rest of my life.
There was times that
I've never had them before.
there was probably be a time that I'm going to choose this over birthday cake.
Yeah, like and spread, like get some to spread it on. What would be some things that you would spread on these tortas that you think would be like really good?
Jelly.
Jelly?
Jelly would be really good.
Jelly or jam? Yeah, I'm thinking that.
I could definitely see that.
I can only think of strawberry jelly though. I don't think blueberry jelly or any of them.
Do you think the blue cheese would be good on it?
That seems like too many flavors.
Or maybe like marmalade.
You might be right.
'Cause
Yeah,
like,
I was thinking orange marmalade would be really good on it.
marmalade would be good.
I tried to eat marmalade by itself because I thought it was just like a drink, but
I like how we always seem to have like one like misfit cheese that's just like a total badass.
All the others were like a normal,
Right.
more or less creamy cheese with like good flavors, and it's just
It's
one,
just like-
There's one cheese that's just like, wow. It's like the sepultura of cheeses.
they probably like made this before long, and you're like, this is more oh, I 3 times already.
So it turns out you can't talk and eat at the same time, Patrick.
We've had this knowledge for years.
Same knowledge. I don't know why.
So yeah, the take from eating these is buy the olive oil.
Just go somewhere. If you're gonna choke to death, go somewhere.
Buy Inez Rosales
Grab some water.
sweet olive oil tortas because they're amazing and they are like heaven. They're great. They're amazing. Eat them because they're good and they'll be worth your time. I don't know what else to say. They're good.
I think the highest recommendation for this episode is the torta.
Which is stupid because it's a cheese episode.
But that's amazing also.
Yeah, but those
What did you
two
think
cream
about-
ones, those 2 cream ones are good.
The 2 cream ones were very, very good also. And the
We had a good score on those tortas though.
Blue Jay, what's it called?
Blue Jay.
I don't know why I can't remember. Blue Jay.
Yeah, I'll just give you the sticker so you don't forget it.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'll stick it on your arm.
Don't stick it on my arm.
I'll stick it on the table. Now he will always.
Patrick is gonna have to learn to breathe. So I think with that, hopefully Patrick makes it to the next episode. I'll let you know how that goes. If he dies, I'll let you all know. But other than that, I think that wraps up the episode, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not dead.
He's not dead.
Yeah.
Great.
Good.
That there's your update. He's not dead. He's still alive. He'll live to eat another cheese.
Anything else? Any final thoughts, last words?
Buy Inez Rosales and shout out to Wegmans because they're great and we got all this stuff from them.
That's true. That's true. I really think Wegman's on a seriously considered sponsor of this.
Spawn cheese worth trying.
All right.
Please.
Thank you, everybody.
See you next time. Cheese.